Hey everybody, this is Cresso. Hey, right now I'm over here at Palm Springs, California, and wow, I got a really cool shot of this mountain in the background. Uh, Very nice. It's I see that snow cap on the top of that mountain. That's got to be like what? Probably like around 30 to 40 degrees on top. Um, and now the temperature around here is like around 85, 90 degrees right now. That's like a huge difference. But yeah, it's really cold up in those mountains. But yeah, I love the mountain scenery. It's really cool. Um, I did my clip over at the I was in Arizona, and I'm sorry, it was when I was like looking at my clip, like reviewing it, it was like so windy and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I hope everybody could understand me, hear me clearly. But I'm sorry, I didn't put my mic on, and hopefully this mic will definitely you can hear me better. It's a little windy, not that much compared to where I was in Arizona. Um, yeah, I'm just really excited. I haven't been in California around like what, maybe 11 years, and it's a lot of space. I've been in a lot of places around the U.S. for I think around over 11 years. I've been in a lot of places, a lot of small towns. I've been to a lot of major cities. Uh, but yeah, United States. One of the things I've learned about the U.S. is a lot of farm. There's a lot of farming in the U.S. A lot of farms, and growing up in New York City, in your head you think that it's just you don't really think about other places so much. Like, wow, so much land. You just think of the city of New York as just one city, and every place, majority of the land, the U.S. is the same. Not really. There's a lot of farms again. So yeah. Um, I want to do this clip. I'm gonna head back. I'm gonna head back out east. I'm gonna be leaving California, and I'm just again, before I go further, what I wanted to say in this clip, it's I'm really grateful that I'm able to experience these places, and I wanted to show everybody the stuff that I see, and a lot of people travel, but this is, I'm just doing my own thing, and with that, I want to, a lot of my messages on my clips is very inspiring, and so it really, I do my best to connect with the scenery, for everybody to feel good, listen to my message. And yeah, you know, um, what I want to talk about in this clip, I'm gonna make this really brief, okay? I was having a conversation with my friend of mine. Me and her, we were just talking about, different communities and stuff like that. And when you move to different areas, different neighborhoods, or whatever, you're moving out of town, different city to city, you know, a lot of you probably familiar with this, right? Um, People go by zip codes and stuff. Like, for example, like if I enter this zip code in, right, it's a bad neighborhood, right? You want to call it a ghetto or whatever you want to call it, but the thing is, or undesirable neighborhood, but yeah, it's all about zip codes and stuff, and the area, location. You heard about that in real estate, and you know, I'm like, I was just talking to her about it. It's like, it's all marketing. You know, every neighborhood, let's just say, you want to talk about a ghetto neighborhood. Every neighborhood, it's basically, you could turn any neighborhood into a desirable neighborhood. It doesn't matter what location, it doesn't matter what zip code. And a lot of people get caught into that, especially when you're looking for a job, right? Some of you probably could relate. You look for a job and you don't want to put down a certain zip code because you're worried about, oh, if I put down this zip code, they ain't gonna hire me. And they're not supposed to do that. It's corporations, but there's a loopholes in the system that we allow in our reality. But yeah, a lot of you will probably put maybe your friend's zip code, right? And that way you ought to get a best shot and getting that job. That's just an example, right? And you know, it's like it's really sad though, because you see, I look at a lot of these neighborhoods. and I hate the word ghetto, but I will use it in this clip. You know, what is a ghetto neighborhood? What is it? I know it's a very touchy thing. A lot of people take pride in the word ghetto. A lot of people are egotistic about it. We identify ourselves with due to certain circumstances we identify ourselves with. But what is a ghetto neighborhood? A ghetto neighborhood, basically, okay, you got what? You got abandoned buildings, house look like whatever, look like it's been to a war zone. What else you got? The meat of the ghetto neighborhood, I mean, you can find abandoned buildings and abandoned houses or whatever it looks like it's all torn up any place. The meat of the ghetto neighborhood is the belief system that people hold up. It's the mentality of a lot of people. It doesn't matter what your skin color, though. A lot of us get caught up with the skin color thing. Not really. So let me just be a little bit more specific here, okay? A lot of people will say ghetto, so you think of what? Black and Spanish, right? A good portion, a lot of people will think that. And a lot of people will get defensive, get their walls up. Oh, he said the word ghetto. Oh, that means he's talking about me. I'm black or I'm Spanish. Whatever the case is. It doesn't matter what your skin color. You could be white, you could be Chinese, it doesn't matter. The ghetto neighborhood is basically belief system. And what do you do with the belief systems? Okay, so you have a community that look a certain way, right? That people hold up. People pass on from, you know, decades to decades, right? Yeah, it's about people feeling low of themselves. A lot of people feel like the system owes you, right? A lot of you got this mentality. We allow the system, which is the government, into our society, you know, because you know why? Because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't. So we allow the system to take care of you in a certain way that you can't think, you can't do anything for yourself. And, you know, not everybody live in a certain neighborhood thinks the same way. Not everybody. Some people, you know, there's different people. There's some people some people are content where they live. You know, that's okay. You know, it's all good. It's all about where you at spiritually. But for anybody that has a certain mentality, walking around with a certain vibe, yeah, the neighborhood comes with the vibrational signals that you're releasing. But again, I want to make it clear, not everybody in a certain neighborhood, you know, act a certain way. Everybody's different. I just want to I want to break these stuff down really clear to everybody. And about the whole thing with the zip code and the neighborhoods and why people don't want to live in certain neighborhoods and all that. And it's all about mentality. So I was talking to her, I'm like, you know, some neighborhood looked like crap for so many years and that. And you know, it's the people's responsibility in the community to get the neighborhood look a certain way. It's like, for example, it's like you have your house or your room, wherever you stay, right? You're responsible to maintain your place a certain way, but some people don't care. That's your choice. But then, you know, it's all about your vibe, what you're releasing. So it's the people's responsibility maintaining their community in a certain way. I know a lot of people will come up with excuses about gangs. You have certain gangs ruling a neighborhood and stuff like that. We all come up with excuses why we don't live our highest joy. We all do that. We all believe that this other people, whether it's a gang member or if somebody in government, have some sort of control in your life. So that all this stuff could be worked out. It's about basically you letting go of certain belief systems about yourself. You know, like, you know, not put up excuses. If you choose to live in a certain neighborhood and you feel a certain way about yourself, yeah, it's going to reflect. But this does take everybody together in this. I know there's some communities people do their best, you know. A lot of people waiting for politicians to come up and clean up the mess, right? We rely on local politicians, for example. Then if a local politician doesn't help clean up the mess that you allow in your community, then you come there and you beg on your, community hall meetings that you have. You come there and you beg a mainstream politician, and every time you have a politician that will come there and tell you all these little promises, it's because he or she want to be elected. So yes, they're going to give you an ear and listen to your request and please keep my streets safe and da-da-da. But a lot of people we play the game and not be responsible for our own lives and everything around. This does take everybody together, collectively, to change everything up. So when everyone talks to me about a ghetto neighborhood, yeah, we have a certain preference. It's okay. If you live in a so-called upscale neighborhood, right? It's your preference to not live in certain neighborhoods. That's okay. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean you're a snob, right? A lot of people look at other people, oh, you're a snob, you think you're better than me and stuff like that. Not really. We all have preference. The people in the community that's already there, you know, if you desire, if you feel in your heart that you want to do something, yeah, it just takes everybody. This does take everybody. If you're going to wait for a local politician to come and help clean up the mess, right, you're going to be waiting there for a very long time. You're going to be waiting there for every 2 to 4 years, depends on the political figure's position of when their person is going to be reelected. So yeah, you're going to constantly sit there and wait, and maybe your community is going to turn around. But the thing I was telling my friend that, you know, you have investors, right, like big corporations, right? You all seen this now, and I've seen this a lot in New York City. If the community is not, if the people in the community is not doing or changing their communities and everything from the ground up, you have corporations will come in there, and they'll buy your land out. They'll buy it out. You got people in houses, right? You got people in houses get bought out. You know, the person figured that, oh well, no one's not going to buy my house. You want to sell your house for whatever, what, $25,000, $30,000, right? For the neighborhood, right? Remember, real estate, location, or an undesirable neighborhood. So no one's not going to buy your house. But you have an investor. You have somebody in the corporate head will say, hey, I'm going to buy your house. I'm going to buy your house for $15,000, for example. And you take it. A lot of people will take it. So you have a corporation come there, turn the so-called ghetto neighborhood, right? Turn that upside down and turn it into a nice Hill Valley, typical American community, right? Now, a lot of you are going to talk about, oh, well, they got the money and the manpower. Okay, you can say that. They have the manpower, they got the money, they got the strings to come in there and buy you out. Yeah, I know. I've heard the story for many, many years. It all falls down to people. No matter which way you cut it, everybody, it all comes down to you. Money. We always got money as a big, big obstacle. We have a currency, which is a debt note in the United States. We look at it like, oh, well, what are we going to do? We played a game to limit ourselves with money. But, you know, actuality, and you know, let me not go too far off the topic. United States, the currency is basically, it's not real money. There's no backing on the money. I won't go too far off. We played a game of, we have debt notes, and then we go by credit. Credit is actually virtual money. You could have, you could basically not have a cap on credit. You can, but we go by a credit score to give you a cap of how much credit you should have and what you're allowed, what you're approved and what you're not approved. But again, credit is virtual money. It's not anything physical unless you're holding a damn card. But credit is just virtual money. That's it. I could have 90,000. I could have 1 trillion credit. Who's putting a cap on that? Me. I put the cap on that. Not your so-called leaders that you put in a pedestal. No. So if we're going to talk about money, you got to look at it like this. We limit ourselves. It's not about the system that we put on a reality. We allow the system to limit you because based on how you feel. So you're saying to yourself, okay, Cressa, so what are we going to do with the money? How are we going to change the community? There's always ways. I'm here to inspire people, okay? That's what I'm about, okay? There's always ways to improve your credit or change the whole system up. You know, everybody, if people get together and put aside these old stories that you hold up and keep you divided, again, the system that we allow likes it when people are divided. It does. It's vibing how you feel. That's how the system works. The U.S. government, for example, is vibing how the mentality that you hold up, everybody. Remember, your power to put the government there, okay? It didn't just come from the sky and land it on you. You put it there. So it's vibing towards your mentality, everybody. You know, a lot of people get together, right? You could break those caps. That salary cap that you put in yourself, you could break it. It's about people getting together and building together. If you want to create money, create money. We put value. You understand? We put value into things. Like, for example, this rock. Just hear me out. This rock could be worth $1 billion. I put value in this rock. Right? That's all it is. I put value. We put value to things. Gold, we put value into gold. Right? We put value into silver. We put value to all kinds of precious metals and stuff like that. Back in the, I don't know what part of the era within humanity, but there was a time that people in different parts of the world used seashells for currency. We put value into things. You understand? We do. So if you want to talk about there's not enough money, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of you are intelligent enough, you are intelligent now, to come up with ideas, to come up with a new type of currency. If you want to build a new type of currency, this does take people. People. I'm talking about every single Joe, Jane Doe out there. You, everybody, this is what it takes. Get off your butt and do something for yourself. You deserve it. I mean it. And yeah, you know, you could turn any neighbor, everybody could turn any neighborhood to a comfortable neighborhood, you know? You know, being out here, you know, I'll tell you this, everybody, being out here, I feel good. My spirit is good. I feel energized. I talk with vision because I know what I'm talking about. What I talk about does exist. I'm just conveying this message to you. I'm conveying this message to you because it exists. It's about you aligning yourself into that reality. If you want to live in a shitty reality, everybody, you have power to do so. Nobody is forcing you to live in a shitty reality. That is the truth. You can come up with me with all kinds of excuses why your life is not where it's supposed to be. Okay? Yeah, we put value. So if you want to take, you know, the money situation can be worked out. The idea of money. You know? That can be worked out. People put inside old storage, building a neighborhood up. Let me tell you something about these gang members. These gang members, they are afraid. They're not going to tell you that. I don't care if it's the West Coast or East Coast. They're afraid. And they're victims. Every single gang member is a damn victim. Every one of them. I don't care how big, bad, how many guns or he or she has. They're a victim and they're afraid. And they got stuff holding up in their own lives. They're just like anybody else. When you observe a certain lifestyle, right, you're going to attract more things. I make clips about gangs. Same thing like cops. Cops and gangs are really not much of a difference. One with a uniform, one without a uniform. Well, gangs got their own little uniform thing. But if you look at the meat on a spiritual, on a psychological and spiritual, not really much of a difference. Gangs about territorial, cops about somewhat of a territorial, but try to keep things in order and control. Gangs too. Gangs like to keep things controlled in their own way. But the thing is, everybody, is that people changing their belief system, if you want to live a peaceful, joyous life, everything is possible. Everything. You gotta like say to yourself, damn it, I deserve it. I know who I am. Whatever lifestyle I choose and it's suggesting to me to feel lower of myself and I feel like I'm attracting certain things, then make a U-turn, right? And do yourself a favor and change your mentality from the inside. When you change your mentality from the inside, it basically you're shifting into a different reality. Or I could talk about you're just changing things around. Your own mind is not going to tell you that because your head is telling you, oh, nah, you just got to accept reality for what it is. Things is hard. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I'm black. I'm Spanish. I'm Asian. I'm not educated enough. I can't get what I want. So you have that certain mentality, right, everybody? So then you find yourself landing in a certain neighborhood that you don't like. These neighborhoods are a reflection of how people feel inside. Your politician's not going to tell you that. They'll throw sales pitches at you. They'll tell you things what you want to hear. Again, the game is about the idea of politician is to be elected. You don't have to be a political analyst to understand this. For people to understand this, if you're at a point of understanding, excuse me, you are ripe. You are just ripe of waking up. All of this is a game. You living in a ghetto neighborhood or whatever, your life is shitty, all is a game. all the Billy Badasses, all that, all those people try to maintain their land and try to keep guns around, have a gun trigger out, making sure no one take mines and all that. All that stuff is a game. All of it. We feel like someone could take something from you. You know? I was just telling my friend, it's very easy to break down a ghetto neighborhood. Very easy. I mean, shucks, again, you have investors come in there and buy up the whole community and turn that neighborhood into a typical hill valley. Right? You got grass is not lawn, not the grass is all over the place. You got weed everywhere, right? Before you know it, you got new hotels, new Walmart, typical. I've been around so many places in the U.S. I gotta tell you, they're very nice community homes I've seen, but it's all kind of cookie cutter. It's weird. It's just whatever. It's cool, but I'm just telling you, it's all the same. You got like you got like one lane go that way. It's like a circle. It's like, I kid you not. If you ever watch a movie, damn, what's the name of that movie? I forgot. But it's basically, I just call it Hill Valley because it's just so. I mean, if you look up, go look for a movie that talks about these type of things, or like Back to the Future. I don't know. If you look at the first Back to the Future movie? It's called Lion's Estate, something like that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, everybody. I try to come up with examples, that way you can connect what I'm saying. Any neighborhood could be turned, but the thing is, you see, I was telling her like this. I was telling my friend that, the root of changing a neighborhood is the people. The people is the root. I mean, anybody could turn a neighborhood into a high upscale neighborhood. But if people hold up with certain mentalities and stuff like that, you hold up a victim mentality or whatever you vibing with, that doesn't matter. You having a brand new hotel, you have a brand new business, whatever you want to put around your neighborhoods and all that, and you try to invite more business to come into your neighborhood, it doesn't matter. It's your mentality. It is. But remember, everybody, I told you all of this in my clips. A lot of my clips is basically about giving yourself power, empowering yourselves. I'm not about sitting around table, being a victim, and talk about how I hate this, how I hate that, and I ain't doing nothing. I ain't coming on no ideas. I ain't coming on whatever solution or whatever I could do for myself, for example. Okay, I talk to you. See, I'm inspiring myself and everybody. But if you like to sit back and observe a particular lifestyle, okay. But because consciousness in us is all about transformation or life expands, before you know it, you may be in a certain neighborhood in a certain situation that you're not happy. Before you know it, things change. Things change all the time. It does. We go on so many different realities. We do. We do. Remember, everybody, before I close out, remember, the root of any community is you. Not the corporation that comes in there with all the flash, with all the green to give you, hey, here, I'm going to buy you out, I'm going to buy you out. It's not about your political figure that comes in there with a nice little banner to vote for me, and I'm going to change your neighborhood to a safe one. It's not about that. It's about people. It's about people. It's about, you want to call yourself a blue-collar worker, white-collar worker, you want to call yourself a hustler, whatever you want to describe yourself as. It's about the people. Until you get off your butt and acknowledge who you are by knowing fully, without a doubt, that you are worthy and that you are God. Everybody is, whether you believe in a God or not, doesn't matter. You are a source of all creation. I mean, there is no beginning, there's no end. But I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, you are a source of life. You deserve all the great things, all of it. It doesn't matter what your skin color your body is. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter what your damn credit score is, everybody. We play this game to box ourselves in, to limit ourselves with certain situations like credit, right? And I inspire you early about how we put value to things. We could break ourselves out of the whole credit line thing, meaning, oh, I have like 750 credit. Oh, gee, do I qualify for American Express? Gee, I would like to get a gold American Express card, or maybe a black American Express card, or maybe I'd like to get a Capital One, or whatever. We put limits to things. You ask yourself, why do I limit myself? Why do I live in a shitty neighborhood? Why? Ask yourself that question. without the blaming people. Don't blame people. Ask yourself this deep question. Why do I limit myself? Why do I live in certain neighborhoods that I'm not happy in my heart, even though I play like I don't? But deep down inside, you don't like where you live, for example. You're not happy. Someone live in a house, whatever. They look, again, you look all crappy. Well, you choose to like it or not in your heart. Hey, that's up to you inside. Only you determine that. I'm not some sort of judge to come down on people. I just point things as it is. The heart lies. Everything goes where the heart lies. If you're happy with a drama life, okay, that's the path that you choose. And that your own spirit say, I want to live in a chaotic lifestyle. Because you're getting something out of it. Okay? But in your own head, he's going to tell you, no, I got in this neighborhood, or my life is the way it is because so-and-so. That's the surface part of you saying that. But deep in your spirit is in command. I'm just giving you a nudge to empower yourself, to say to you that you don't have to live in a certain situation. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. And stop saying to yourself, oh, the system, I can't do nothing. Stop saying that to yourself. I'm going to inspire you. Because when you say that, you're giving certain things power. It's about allowance. You are allowing the system that you place everybody to control you in a certain way and to place you in a certain neighborhood, or you want to call censorship. So stop giving yourself these lousy excuses. You deserve everybody. I don't care if you grew up, born and raised in Compton, doesn't damn matter. I don't care if you grew up in Harlem. It doesn't matter who you are. Remember, you are in full command. The root of the community and your life is you. You are the focal point of your life. It's not about zip codes, where you live, not about that. All that stuff is a game. All that stuff can be done away with. You can shift all that out of your reality if you choose so. People get together. I told my friend of mine, people get together, know who they are, and put aside these old victim stories. Things change in a heartbeat. Boom, like that. That's the way it works. I tell you, life is really beautiful. It really is. I mean, this is California. It's amazing. There's so much space in California. There's 40 million people in California. 40 million people. And yet, you got all this land. All this land. I want to say something really quick. You always question yourself why certain cities around the country is congested into like these metro areas. LA, Chicago, Detroit, right? Miami, Dallas, all that. But you have so much land in the US. I've seen it myself. I travel around. And I remember someone was telling me the reason why certain states don't really have a lot of population or business because it's all based on oil. Oil and I believe precious metal, but mainly oil seems to be the source of a community basically doing well or to establish itself. That's BS. That's very limited thinking. We limit ourselves with so many ways. I tell you this, everybody. Oil. So if you want to build a city or a new community area, right? You need oil. Look, this is something for everybody to think about. There's so many ways to build things. I mean, I agree that there's certain places around the U.S. should be left alone. That's just me. I do like the open land, though. But you got so many people, 40 million people in California. 40 million people, the highest populated state in this country. And yet, people in LA area, for example, bottleneck every day in traffic. All those people. What's the mile radius in LA? I forgot. But all those people. I'm like, all that to get to their rat race job. It's amazing. Like what? You got 2-3 hour traffic going each way. So you're basically, if you're working an 8-hour day in LA, for example, plus 3-hour commute each way. That's 6 hours total. You pretty much you're clocking a lot of hours just to get to work and at your job at the same time if you live in LA area, California. Maybe to some people that might be extreme. You gotta have a damn chopper to pick you up out of your house and land you in your little rat race job downtown LA. I'm seriously. If you want to beat traffic. It's hilarious though. It is. You have so much land here in the US. Again, it's about people. It's about people doing something for themselves. It's about people changing things in their lives. And when you change things in your life and you change your mentality, everybody, things around you change. It's not complicated. It's not. But your own ego is going to tell me it's hard. Yeah, it's a choice. It is. Man. I've never been hiking. I don't know. I've never been hiking though. But saw this movie Mount, what is it called? Mount Everest, if I'm saying it correctly. I saw that last year. Yeah, it's based on a true story, but it's a pretty deep movie. If you saw it, check it out if you're into mountain hiking. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not really so much into. I just love the scenery. I've taken so many photos in the area between Arizona. My other clip. I was over in Colorado, and wow, it's just unbelievable. You know these power fans that we got here. That's around the country, but here in California, you got like a city of electric windmills. You know, I was thinking about Nikola Tesla and how energy is actually free though, but based on Edison is basically he's an entrepreneur, so where energy is not free to particular, based on a particular paradigm. But that's going to be another topic. When I see these electric windmills, I think about Nikola Tesla, and I definitely I would love to do a movie on Nikola Tesla. I really would. It's not really about him. See, he's consciousness like me. It's the ideas, the imaginative ideas. You understand? That man, he doesn't have no. He doesn't. He doesn't have the concept of limitations. Okay. Energy. Energy is free. The air you breathe is energy. Okay. Very easy to make our energy free worldwide. Very easy. I know we talk about lawmakers and stuff like that. That's another excuse that we put on ourselves. Yeah, it's very easy to bypass this. It takes people. There's no Chuck Norris to come there and come down from the chopper and save you, everybody. Seriously. It's everybody getting together and change things up. So you don't want to have a high electric bill? There's always ways. Well, I don't want to go. That's a different topic altogether. This clip I was talking about, basically about real estate or whatever, communities and people's mentalities and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just really excited. So I'm heading out. I'm going to be leaving California soon. This is Palm Springs, California. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice state. It really is, California. I haven't been to all parts. I haven't been to San Francisco yet. I haven't, but I will at some point. This is what I love doing, everybody. What I'm doing, I'm fulfilling my highest joy. One of my highest joys. Okay, I ain't better than you. I'm fulfilling what I love to do. I'm traveling and I'm inspiring people. Anybody could do that. Anybody. You don't have to be somebody in Hollywood to do this. No, anybody are more than capable of doing things what they love to do, and you want to inspire others, whether through the words that come out of your mouth or just your lifestyle alone, whatever it is, everybody's capable of inspiring one another and following their highest joy. Doesn't matter who you are again. Okay, everybody, until then, I will be back with another interesting topic, and I'm going to probably talk about Nikola Tesla. I have to gather more information and everything. I definitely want to talk about free energy and how it needs to be talked about more abroad here. It really does, and it's not going to hurt the Earth environment. That's a lie that you've been hearing to yourselves. So free energy doesn't hurt anything. Okay, so but yeah. If I don't talk about that, I always come up with something to express in my heart. So all right. So until then, I will be back. Take care.